Good morning. Damn, I'm sitting playing with the team selector. Bow selector, never mind team selector. Good morning, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. I'm trying to change screens and stuff. I was just sitting playing around with the projected 11 that I'm going to start with, and I totally forgot to go live. As you do in the morning. Let me just change this screen whilst I do this and change it to that one. There we go. And let me just get this screen up. Well, we jump straight into the news. Keep watching this video because Celtic have been told that the way that they've to go to Ibrox at the weekend. Coaching is parking on the Broomlin Road. Now that never used to happen, and I'm going to tell you where Celtic used to park, and I'm going to show you the way that they used to go in when we had the full allocation, and I'm going to show you what's to happen now. And I think that Police Scotland have got an own goal with this one, and wait for some terrible headlines on Sunday. And if it happens, and if the terrible headlines happen, as I suspect they will, this is down to Police Scotland and it's down to Rangers just trying to get their own way. It should have been it's the old allocation. It should have been the old rules when it comes to the parking at Ibrox. But let's forget about that because we'll jump on to for the team selection. It's not that one. It's this one. So let's jump onto this for the team selection for the weekend's game. Let's just put that there. And we'll make this slightly a bit bigger, and I'll go way over here. So I have got Marcelo Sriracha starting at the back. I wouldn't take any chances with Kieran Tierney, that bad foot injury. We're waiting to see if he does have any broken bones in his foot. I would start with Austin Trusty. I would start with Liam Scales. And I'd start with Julian Araujo at the back. Now, I've got them starting quite far forward. I've got them starting quite far forward. I expect Celtic to hold a high line and play the way that we did in Germany against Stuttgart. Now I've got Rio Hatate and Callum McGregor in the midfield. Rio's in the holding role, which will allow him to get forward in these positions, upside Callum McGregor. It'll also allow Callum McGregor to move position. I've got Benji Negrin sitting in front of him and Dyson Maeda. Now, the way that Celtic should set up would be something like this, so that there could be little diagonal balls played along the midfield. None of this Rio Hatate passing back to Trusty, passing back to Scales. Should be nice little diagonal balls that are kept in. They should be able to move around. And Benji could move over here, Rio could move here, Sebastian there. You know, Rio to Hatate, Benji then overlaps. You've then got Sriracha, who would overlap also. So you've got Sebastian Tenecte, you've got Benji Negrin, and you've got James Forrest starting the game. I think that that's the best starting 11 that we can start with. I don't think that Yang brings too much into it. I would bring Yang on in the second half. And then I've got Daiz Maeda starting as the striker. Whether that's the correct decision or not, because let's face it, Daiz Maeda, he's not been scoring many goals, has he? So, I'm just reading some of the comments, everyone having their opinion. But that's all what we're here for, is to all have an opinion. So the way that I would see Celtic playing is Dyson. What could happen is Dyson would move over there, Benji could move up there, the midfield would move up, and it would give you a 4 in the midfield, which would help solidify that midfield. Got the defenders all moving up, James Forrest, and then it could change us to a 4-4-2, because there's a lot of people have been saying, like, we need to play 4-4-2. I'm going to sneeze this morning. And I think that would be a lot better playing that formation than the 4-3-3. Anyway, give me your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you think about that starting 11. But anyway, Dyson Maider through the middle to create all sorts. Benji Negrin, he's the one that's got goals. Have him just hiding about behind him. Rio Hatate likes to get forward up to these positions. And Sebastian Tenecte, he needs to play the ball to Marcelo Sarachi. When the big issue with Sebastian Tenecte is when the fullback overlaps and you've got Dyson here, you've got Benji here, and you've got Rio Hatate here. What tends to happen is the fact that Sebastian Tenecte, rather than give the ball to Marcelo Sarachi here, he tends to turn inside and tries to do it all himself. So if you've got Dyson coming in and goal, you've got Sarachi coming here, and you've got Sebastian Tenecte there. Yes, Sebastian Tenecte will say, well, Marcelo Sarachi is really pulling a defender away, which should give him a free rein into the box to be able to take shots or get a cross in to Dyson Maeda or Benji Negrin. And then you've got James Forrest coming down there. Rio Hatate, Callum McGregor, Austin Trusty, Liam Scales, Julian Araujo away up here. Ideally, that's what you would want to happen. But tell me what you think about that team. I would have Liam Scales and Austin Trusty at the back, Julian Araujo, Sebastian Tenecte would be starting there, Marcelo Sarachi. I expect Celtic to hold a high line as possible. I know that they could try and hit us on the break, and that's how they got their goals. I'd have Rio Hatate, Callum McGregor, Dyson Maeda there, Benji Negrin there, so we can play little diagonal balls. And if they hold that shape, the issue that Celtic have is that they don't hold that shape. They don't hold the lines. And then, you get Sebastian Tenecte being away up here. And then Benji Negrin's like, well, he needs to be there because trying to get the ball there. And then you've got Dyson Maeda that will go away over here, which kind of leaves a big gap in the middle. Yes, Benji Negrin could come through there, but Rio Hatate needs to make more forward runs. And should Callum be that side and allow Rio Hatate to go this side? More than likely, so it allows Callum to make runs up there. But can Rio Hatate be defensively good enough? He usually is. And that's what allows them to get a bit of movement, especially when Benji goes up here. Rio can sometimes, we've seen it in previous games, that Rio Hatate gets some space there. And there's your three back in midfield when you're on the attack. It's interesting. Anyway, yeah, I know the sun's breaking through the blind again. It's this time in the morning. Anyway, that is my predicted starting 11. Ditch Scales for Arthur. Let me get some. I'd have Arthur instead of Trusty. There's a few. There's one. I'd have Arthur instead of Trusty. Ditch Scales for Arthur. But anyway, there's just some of the comments that are coming in this morning. I think Tenecte starts on the bench, Baz. Do you think that Tenecte starts on the bench and then Dyson Maeda starts out on the wing? I'm not too sure because you put Callum back there, you put Rio there, Julian Araujo there, James Forrest. If you start Tenecte on the bench, you're having to put Dyson out there. And then you're saying starting Big Tam? Is that really what you want to do? I mean, Tam's not a goal scoring threat. That's the worst of it. He's not a big goal scoring threat. He's not done enough for me personally. I can understand why you might want to play him, but for me, he wasn't doing enough in a game, and we ended up reverting Dyson Maeda through the middle anyway. And Dyson Maeda's crosses have been woeful just now. The pace of Dyson. I mean, I can understand keeping Dyson out there to run right with them, but anyway, right. That's that for this morning. That is my predicted team news for the weekend. I'm going to jump onto another screen because Celtic put out yesterday a tweet through the fans liaison officer. and it's pretty disappointing actually. It's because there's chance of complete mayhem ensuing. We'll jump onto the screen. Coach parking. Info for Sunday. All coach parking on the Broomlawn Road. Celtic have never parked on Broomlawn Road. Never. Can't remember any time in the last 20 years that we've parked on the Broomlawn Road. Coaches should approach from Govan Road. No Celtic parking on Helen Street, where we always parked on the industrial estate. Gates open at 10:30. All fans searched on entry, please. All fans, every single fan's getting searched on entry. Good luck with that. 7 fans getting searched. Please advise be early as possible to avoid delays. If requires, hold back details will be announced. Now, why? When we zoom in on this, there's the Broomlawn Road. Okay, now here is St. Helens Street, the industrial estate. Everyone that used to go to Ibrox knows that the buses used to park down here. All the Celtic buses would park on this road so that they basically come straight out past this roundabout up here onto the motorway and then away down the road. Way to enjoy yourself. Celtic have parked on St. Helens Street for as long as I can remember. But Police Scotland have said they will now park on the Broomlawn Road. Now, when Celtic fans come out, what used to happen years gone by, Celtic would come up from the industrial estate, walk along here, walk along Edmondson Drive. There would be a police cordon at this bit here. You see where the arrow is. There'd be a police cordon there, which would allow Rangers fans to be this side and all over the car park. There would be a line of police all the way along here and then down this road here and across the car park. I don't know if the car park's maybe getting worked on. I don't know what's happening with that. But the police would then go along there would be a line of police along here. You could get nowhere near Rangers fans. There was about 100 feet minimum, 100 metres even, between the Rangers fans and Celtic fans. You never got anywhere near them. It was safe as Barrett houses, as they like to say. But they've changed it. They have changed it, and they now want the Celtic buses to park on the Broomlawn Road, which you might think is fine, because they've now to run the gauntlet. And this is where I think it's dangerous. They've to come in via Govan Road. Now, if they come in via Govan Road, they're going to have to take, obviously, going to come off the M8 here, come along this road here, down to Kilwinning Park. I take it there's not even a junction there, so they can't even come off there, can they? Paisley Road? Yeah, they come onto Paisley Road. Turn down this way onto Govan Road, driving right through Govan Road. This is Hun territory. I mean, I can understand. I mean, I've been down that road. I've got a mate who used to stay down that area. But it's all Hun territory. And then they've drive right round this way, all the way around here, round the back, right round the back of here to Govan Road, and then up Broomlawn Road for the buses to park there. I'm not being funny, but we know what they are like. I can remember a time where getting windows smashed going to Ibrox in the 80s because we had to drive through areas like this. If this is Police Scotland's idea of making this game safe, it was way safer when we used to drive up the M8, when you used to come off at St. Helens Street, when you used to drive down St. Helens Street. You never seen hardly any of them because they would all come over on this road here, heading to the stadium. Rangers fans never went anywhere near the police station. Hands up, who's all been there? Hands up who's all been there, had to go there after a game. It was only to pick someone up. I must digress. I had to go and pick someone up the next morning after a game. But anyway, that's another story. And then we would come off the motorway here, drive down, and go onto St Helens Street, and it was safe as houses. I think Police Scotland are trying to make sure that the reintroduction of the full allocation, this is Rangers and the police in cohesion, by the way, to make sure that there is some kind of nonsense happens on Sunday, so the reintroduction of the full allocation never happens. And if there is nonsense on Sunday, it will be fully down to that mob on the other end of the city. Guaranteed. Pablo says straight off, there's work on Paisley Road West. Says Jim. Orkney Street Police for me. I mean, even if there's roadworks there, surely I just think there's trouble in the making. Having to make Celtic buses come off here, go the Govan Road all the way around. They'll say it's safe, but listen, we've seen in the past where Rangers fans have come over the Finnieston Bridge and did their pyro and everything, walking into town. You know, for me, it is just. I mean, I was talking to guys yesterday on our WhatsApp group chat for the old buses, and everyone was saying before this came out, we knew that they were trying to change it. Why they've made it even more difficult for Celtic fans? I mean, they're going to send them when they come out of Ibrox. I mean, the buses will be on Broomland Road. There will be the normal blockage on this bit here, which means that Rangers fans can go round and they'll get into this side of the stadium here. There'll be a blockage there, so Celtic fans are nowhere near them. And this is how this fixture used to be one of the safest fixtures to go to. And I just fear that at the weekend, I don't think it's going to be as safe as it was back in the day. It should have been the same old rules that happened years ago. Anyway, can't turn down past Asda on the motorway. Anyway, that is Police Scotland, and they've made fantastic changes. Anyway, a little bit of Scottish Cup history for you this morning. A little bit of Scottish Cup history. The Scottish Cup first started in 1873. The first final for the Scottish Cup was held on the 21st of March, 1874. And you'll never guess who's been in more finals than any other team. Yes, it is the mighty Glasgow Celtic. Celtic have appeared in 61 Scottish Cup finals. Celtic have won 42 Scottish Cup finals. They've won 42 Scottish Cup. They've been runners-up in 19 occasions in the Scottish Cup final, which means that Celtic have won around about 69% of the finals that they have reached, which is an incredible history in one of the oldest tournaments in the world. Celtic have been dominant in this tournament over the years. It is the Celtic Trophy. Celtic have been in 61 finals. Rangers have only been in 53 finals. History's on our side. History is right on our side, and I think it's going to be a fantastic game. And let's face it, with that full allocation, let's remind them why they banned us. That's all that I'm saying, lads. And I hope that the beginning of the game is as exciting as it's going to be made out to be. Anyway, the fact that we've been in 61 Scottish Cup finals means nothing for this game. We've got to win the game this weekend. Celtic have dominated the competition for well over a century and remain the most successful club in Scottish Cup history. But anyway, we digress because Celtic have won it 42 times. There's a team, actually, that not many people will realise have won it more than any other team out with Celtic and Rangers. It's not Heart of Midlothian. Hearts have won it 8 times. Aberdeen, the almighty Aberdeen in the 1980s that were conquering everyone, have only won it 7 times. Queen's Park FC have won it 10 times, which is unbelievable. It is unbelievable that Queen's Park, the oldest club in Scotland, Queen's Park have won it 10 times. Rangers have only won it 34 times. And Celtic have won it the 42 times. Can we get that up from 42, which has been it for a couple of years? It has to be said. But anyway, could this year be the year that we get 43? And will it be Martin O'Neill that gets us that 43rd Scottish Cup? Or will it all come crashing down this weekend? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been speaking about everything Celtic. He's done an interview and he's talking about the fact that he's enjoying it here. It looks like he's basically getting himself fit for next season. Celtic will offer him a contract in the summer. Sean Maloney's looking at players that will join him in the summer. I'm going to do a video next week, I think, because there's not as many games. We're down to 2 games, 1 game a week now, no midweek games. About all the players that could be leaving Celtic this summer. The midfielder, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, will he start at the weekend? No. Will he get a place on the bench? Yes. I think the game passed by him at the last weekend. And although we do need to get his fitness up, I think that he will not start, even though he's played under Arsene Wenger, even though he's played under some fantastic managers throughout his career. He says that Martin O'Neill said in Celtic postcards that Martin O'Neill was like a breath of fresh air. I've grown up playing under people who just tell you like it is. And Martin O'Neill was one of those managers. He just tells it as it is. He's got some fantastic coaches at Celtic, and they look at the game in a more modern way compared to Martin O'Neill. So there's a good balance there. Will that happen with the next manager who comes in? Will it be a proper old school manager that is pragmatic and just looks at it in a simple terms? I think that's what's great about Martin O'Neill, is that he's coming in and he's not drinking cold coffee like I am. Let me just see. Stephen Johnson. I just remembers. No, Stephen, I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. It'll be a public one. I've got something else lined up for members next week, as long as the result goes the right way. But anyway, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain says that Martin O'Neill's got some great coaches there, and he hopes that they're there at Celtic next year. I wonder if Fozzie will be at Celtic next year. It's interesting. But anyway, what's your thoughts on the game this weekend? That is my predicted lineup. It is only going to be a short one this morning. For the first time since 2018, will Celtic get the full Broom Loan? 7,500 fans return to Ibrox for the first time. Let's make them remember why they blocked us out. Ali McCoist has been greeting about it on the media. He's been greeting about it everywhere, really. He's been talking about the fact, and so has his little sidekick, Barry Ferguson. He's been in the media crying about the fact that there's going to be 7,500 Celtic fans at Ibrox, and he doesn't want to hear them out singing the Rangers fans. They are so bitter. It is unbelievable. It's absolutely fantastic. fantastic that they're in meltdown because there's going to be 7,500 Celtic fans at the game this weekend. I, for one, I'm buzzing for it because I had some fantastic occasions when we had the full allocation at Ibrox. And out singing them in their own stadium is what they hate, nothing more. So bring it on for this weekend and just wait till simply the best rings out and it's Celtic end that is completely bumming and bouncing. Anyway, that is me done and dusted for this morning. Yes, it was French Eddie's fault. It was French Eddie's fault that we annihilated them so much. Anyway, I'm off with my broad black brimmer. I was going to do something, but I'll send them into meltdown. That's me done and dusted for this morning. I might jump back on later this afternoon once Martin O'Neill has his say with the media this afternoon. It will be a very, very interesting one. We might find out if Kieran Tierney has a broken foot. Yes, jump on the Facebook page and have a look at the video of the incident with Kieran Tierney. Tell me what you think. Was it a red card or not? The studs are shown, as generally stated, once a player goes into another player with the studs showing, and the studs went into his ankle and onto his foot. It looked a pretty deliberate to me. Should it be a red card? Anyway, how long will it keep Kieran Tierney out for? Kieran Tierney, who was on a goal-scoring run for Celtic. Can that team that we put up do it this weekend? Well, it's a win or bust game. It's defining for the season for Celtic to get through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. A cup that we have won an amazing 42 times, 61 appearances, runner-up 19 times, a win rate in the Scottish Cup final of 69% for those who like their stats. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day. This is just the warm-up. Wait till we get till tomorrow. Let's start winding that manky mob up. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.